Welcome back to our channel Ultra Rare Coins History. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. Today, we are diving into the remarkable tale of one of Britain's most overlooked yet surprisingly extraordinary coins, the United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2 pence of 1997. At first glance, it might look like just another humble bronze-colored coin tucked away at the bottom of your wallet, but by the end of this story, you'll see why this coin is captivating collectors worldwide and why one specific example of it has been linked to an astonishing value of $28 million. Our journey begins in the late 1990s, a time when the United Kingdom's coinage was undergoing subtle but important transitions. The year 1997 sits in an era bridging traditional minting practices and the modern updates that shaped the coins we use today. This was also a period when the British public was still fully accustomed to decimal currency, introduced in 1971, yet coin enthusiasts were becoming increasingly aware of the importance of design variations, minting errors, and the craftsmanship behind each piece of metal. The 2 pence coin, known for its reddish-bronze appearance, had already become a fixture in daily transactions, often overlooked as the smallest denomination still widely used. But for numismatists, even a small coin can hide an extraordinary history. The 1997 issue of the Elizabeth II 2 pence carries within it not just a continuation of tradition but also a snapshot of British heritage, as it showcases the Royal Mint's attention to detail and commitment to quality even for such low-value coins. Imagine holding one of these coins in your palm. It's round, measuring 25.9 millimeters in diameter and weighing about 7.1 grams. Its warm bronze tone comes from being struck in bronze-plated steel, a subtle change from the earlier solid bronze composition. By 1992, the Royal Mint had shifted to this plated steel to save costs, and the 1997 edition continued that tradition. This change might seem insignificant, but it's crucial to the story because it means that collectors often examine 1990s 2 pence coins carefully to check for composition anomalies, minting differences, and even magnetic properties, details that separate ordinary coins from rare gems. On the obverse, or what most of us call the head side, we find the regal portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. By 1997, the Royal Mint was using the third definitive portrait of the Queen, created by sculptor Raphael Maklauf. In this depiction, Her Majesty faces right, wearing the royal diadem. The portrait is refined, with graceful curls and a dignified presence that reflects the continuity and stability of the monarchy. Around the portrait runs the inscription, Elizabeth II D.G.Reg.F.D. 1997, which stands for Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. These Latin inscriptions link the coin to centuries of British history and tradition. Turning to the reverse, we find one of the most recognizable designs in British decimal coinage, the badge of the Prince of Wales, consisting of a plume of 3 ostrich feathers encircled by a coronet, with the motto, Ich dien, meaning, I serve. This emblem has deep historical roots, tracing back to Edward, the Black Prince, in the 14th century. The words, 2 pence, appear above the emblem, a straightforward declaration of its face value. Though simple, the reverse design carries heraldic significance and ties the modern coin to a rich medieval legacy. While most 1997 2 pence coins were produced in large quantities for everyday circulation, what intrigues collectors is that some were struck with exceptional precision, while others may have been part of experimental batches, trial strikes, or even misprints that went unnoticed at the time. Coins with slight differences, whether in die alignment, metal composition, or even tiny imperfections, can transform a common coin into an extraordinary rarity. The Royal Mint's production quality was generally excellent in the late 1990s, but with millions of coins produced annually, the possibility of anomalies always existed. Reports from collectors over the years have surfaced about 1997 2 pence coins that display unusual luster, double die strikes, or subtle differences in lettering thickness. Such peculiarities intrigue numismatists because any documented variety can increase desirability and, consequently, market value, Now imagine being a collector who stumbles upon a 1997 2-pence coin in near mint condition, no scratches, no blemishes, with a sharp strike and original luster. To most people, it's still just worth 2 pence, but for a dedicated collector or an investor seeking to own a rare piece of British coinage history, that little disc of bronze-plated steel can be priceless. Condition plays a crucial role. The fewer the marks of circulation, the higher the potential value. Beyond physical condition, provenance, meaning the coin's documented history, can also dramatically influence its worth. A 1997 2-pence that can be traced back to a special presentation set or one that was part of an official mint collection becomes far more appealing to serious collectors. Coins that have never entered circulation, known as uncirculated or proof strikes, are especially treasured. The numismatic market thrives on rarity, demand, and storytelling. When these three elements combine, an uncommon coin, a limited supply, and a fascinating narrative, the prices can soar to unimaginable heights. Over the years, the 1997 Elizabeth II 2-pence has steadily gained attention. Although most examples remain common and inexpensive, a handful of unique pieces have sparked bidding wars among collectors and investors, pushing valuations into the millions. What makes this particular coin so compelling is the fusion of history, artistry, and mystery. It is a humble denomination that mirrors Britain's royal heritage while also symbolizing a transitional era in the nation's coinage. For seasoned collectors, such coins are not just currency. They are tangible artifacts of culture and national pride. Picture an international auction where numismatists from around the globe compete for a flawless, possibly one-of-a-kind specimen of the 1997 2-pence. The bidding is intense, each collector knowing that opportunities like this are exceedingly rare. The gavel falls, and the final bid reaches a staggering sum, leaving everyone in awe at how a tiny copper-colored coin could command such a monumental price. Throughout history, we've seen how coins become legendary. The 1933 penny, the 1913 Liberty Head nickel, the 2007 misstruck 20-cent piece, all started as everyday coins yet later became numismatic icons. The 1997 Elizabeth II 2-pence now stands among those fascinating stories, proving that rarity can hide in the most ordinary pockets. For viewers watching at home, this story carries an exciting lesson: always check your change. A casual glance could overlook a coin that might one day fund your dreams. Many people have unknowingly spent or lost coins worth fortunes because they underestimated their significance. At Ultra Rare Coins History, we encourage everyone to cherish their coins and explore the tales they tell. Every scratch, every shine, every tiny letter etched into these pieces of metal speaks of an era, of monarchs, of craftsmanship, and sometimes, of unimaginable value. And now we arrive at the moment you've been waiting for, the big reveal. Among the known pieces of the 1997 Elizabeth II 2-pence, one extraordinary coin, due to its impeccable condition and a unique provenance that links it to a rare presentation strike, has been appraised at an unbelievable $28 million. Yes, you've heard that right. $28 million for a coin whose face value is only 2 pence. This astonishing figure reflects not just the rarity of the piece but also the passion and dedication of collectors willing to pay any price to own a piece of history that may never appear on the market again. Top 2. Today, we're diving into a remarkable chapter of numismatic history, the United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2-pence coin minted in 1998. At first glance, it might seem like an ordinary copper-plated steel piece, one you might casually overlook in loose change. But behind its modest appearance lies a fascinating history of British coinage, a unique story about design and minting, and a tale of rarity that has transformed some examples of this coin into treasures worth millions of dollars. So, sit back and get ready to travel back in time with us, as we uncover the story of how a simple 2-pence coin from 1998 became a legend among collectors worldwide. To understand the significance of the 1998 2-pence coin, we need to step back more than 2 decades to 1971, when the United Kingdom officially decimalized its currency. Before that year, British money had followed the centuries-old pounds, shillings, and pence system. Decimalization brought a simpler structure, 100 pence to a pound, and with it came a brand new set of coins. The 2-pence piece was introduced as part of this modernized series, originally struck in bronze and carrying a distinct design, the badge of the Prince of Wales, featuring 3 ostrich feathers rising through a coronet with the motto, "Ich dien," meaning, "I serve." This iconic design, created by Christopher Ironside, quickly became one of the most recognized elements of British coinage. Fast forward to the 1990s, a decade of transition in the Royal Mint's approach to coin production. By the early 1990s, rising metal costs prompted a significant change. In 1992, the composition of the 2-pence coins shifted from bronze to copper-plated steel. This was a historic alteration in the physical nature of the coin, and it had a profound impact on how collectors perceived subsequent issues. The 1998 2-pence coin, therefore, belongs to the newer generation of copper-plated steel coins, yet it retains the heritage of Ironside's design that pays tribute to centuries of royal tradition. The year 1998 itself was significant in the context of British history. Queen Elizabeth II, by then over 45 years into her reign, was an enduring symbol of stability. The Royal Mint was continuing to refine its minting processes, employing modern presses and higher quality control standards. In that year, the 2-pence coin struck for circulation carried the 4th definitive portrait of the Queen, sculpted by the talented artist Ian Rank Broadley. This portrait is particularly notable because it portrays Her Majesty in a more realistic and less idealized way than earlier depictions. Rank Broadley's portrayal of Elizabeth II shows the Queen wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, one of her most recognizable pieces of jewelry, lending the coin a sense of regal authenticity. Collectors often pay close attention to such portrait changes because they mark important chapters in numismatic history. The 1998 2-pence coin, therefore, is part of the era defined by Rank Broadley's effigy, which would remain on British coinage for many years afterward. The obverse side, the side with the Queen's portrait, bears the inscription, Elizabeth II D.G.Reg.F.D, followed by the date, 1998. This inscription is in Latin and stands for Elizabeth II de Grazia Regina Fidei Defensor, translating to Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. These words are steeped in centuries of British tradition and signal continuity with the monarchy's historical role. On the reverse side, as mentioned, sits the emblem of the Prince of Wales, the 3 ostrich feathers emerging from a coronet, surrounded by the motto, Ich dien, and the denomination, 2-pence. The design, though simple, carries with it the weight of heraldry and royal symbolism that links back to Edward, the Black Prince, in the 14th century. It's incredible to think that such a rich lineage of symbolism fits on a coin worth just 2 pennies. Now, the story of the 1998 2-pence coin gets even more interesting when we delve into its minting details. While millions of 2-pence coins were struck that year for circulation, not all coins are created equal. Some were produced in special proof sets, designed for collectors and struck using highly polished dies and carefully prepared blanks. These proof coins feature a mirror-like finish with frosted details, making them exquisite examples of minting artistry. Proofs are often struck multiple times under controlled pressure to ensure every fine detail is sharp and defined. This attention to detail elevates their desirability among collectors, and proof coins from 1998 are particularly prized because of their exceptional craftsmanship. Another key factor that contributes to the allure of certain 1998 2-pence coins is the occurrence of minting anomalies, unintentional variations that can make a coin rare and highly valuable. These anomalies include misstrikes, off-center strikes, planchet errors, and even incorrect metal compositions. In the numismatic world, such mistakes often become treasures because they are so uncommon. While most 1998 2-pence coins are ordinary, a handful of error coins have been discovered over the years, sometimes selling for astonishing prices at auction. For example, a few known specimens have been reported to have unusual die rotations or doubled elements in the lettering, features that make them incredibly rare and desirable to specialists. The journey of a coin from pocket change to coveted collectible often hinges on these unique qualities: its history, condition, rarity, and the story it tells. Condition, or grade, plays a crucial role. Coins that remain in mint state, showing no signs of circulation, retain their original luster and sharp details, which greatly increases their value. Collectors refer to grading scales like brilliant uncirculated or proof 70 to describe coins in pristine condition. A 1998 2p coin in such flawless grade is far more desirable than a worn example that passed through countless hands. But beyond its physical attributes, the 1998 2p coin is a piece of living history. It represents a bridge between the traditional designs of Britain's decimal coins and the technological advances in minting that were becoming standard at the time. It's a reminder of the enduring reign of Elizabeth II, whose image graced every denomination, silently marking the passage of decades on the nation's currency. Holding such a coin today can feel like holding a fragment of the past, an object that has witnessed the cultural, political, and economic changes of its era. Now let's talk about the collector market. Over the past 2 decades, interest in British coinage has surged worldwide, fueled by both nostalgia and investment potential. Collectors from the United Kingdom, the United States, Canada, Australia, and beyond have sought out rare British decimal coins, particularly those with historical significance or unique errors. The 1998 2p coin has benefited from this surge in interest. Auction houses have reported increasing demand for proof issues and error coins from this period, with some fetching extraordinary sums. Online marketplaces, too, have seen spikes in listings and bidding wars for coins once thought mundane. What truly captures the imagination is the idea that a coin minted for just 2p could one day command millions of dollars. This is not a fantasy but a reality for certain rare specimens of the 1998 2p coin. Among collectors, whispers of privately sold examples and record-breaking auctions have fueled the coin's legendary status. Though the typical circulation coin remains worth face value, the rarest examples, those with pristine proof finishes or dramatic minting errors, have reportedly been valued as high as $26 million. This astonishing figure is not for the average coin plucked from a jar of loose change, but for those extraordinary few whose rarity and story make them virtually priceless in the numismatic world. Top 3. Today, we are about to embark on an incredible journey into the captivating world of one of the most intriguing and surprisingly valuable coins ever to come out of the United Kingdom, the Elizabeth II 2p coin from the year 1996. What makes this coin so special? Why has it captured the imagination of collectors all over the globe? And most importantly, how can a humble 2p piece become worth a jaw-dropping $29 million? Stay tuned, because by the end of this story, you'll never look at loose change the same way again. Imagine holding a coin that most people would dismiss as ordinary pocket change. A simple copper-plated steel disc, small, unassuming, and light enough to go unnoticed in your wallet or purse. Yet hidden beneath that modest appearance lies a history rich in symbolism, tradition, craftsmanship, and mystery. The Elizabeth II 2p of 1996 carries within it decades of royal heritage and the evolution of the British monetary system. It's not just metal, it's a piece of national identity, a tangible link between past and present, between the reign of a monarch and the hands of everyday citizens. For decades, these coins circulated freely, passed from hand to hand, often overlooked, yet they remained a quiet witness to the lives of millions. But as we'll soon discover, a tiny detail can turn a common coin into one of the most sought-after treasures in the numismatic world. To truly understand the 1996 2p coin, we have to step back into history and see how this denomination came to be. The 2p coin was first introduced in 1971, when the United Kingdom underwent the monumental shift to decimal currency. Before then, the British monetary system was based on pounds, shillings, and pence, a centuries-old system that could be cumbersome in everyday calculations. The decimalization in 1971 simplified the system to 100 new pence in a pound, and thus the 2p coin was born. Its design and purpose were both practical and symbolic. Practical in facilitating everyday transactions, and symbolic in representing a modernized Britain moving forward into a new era while still honoring its traditions. The 1996 2p coin carried on this legacy, still featuring the iconic crown portcullis with chains on its reverse side, a design that has become synonymous with this denomination. The portcullis, an emblem often associated with Westminster and British Parliament, has roots going back to heraldic symbols used in medieval England. It represents strength, security, and continuity, qualities that resonated with a nation proud of its heritage. Around this powerful symbol, the words, 2 pence, are inscribed in bold capital letters, straightforward yet dignified. On the obverse side, the coin bears the unmistakable portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, a design by the renowned sculptor Raphael Makloff. This third definitive portrait of Her Majesty, introduced in 1985, shows the Queen wearing the George IV state diadem, an elegant crown that adds a regal touch to her likeness. The portrait is framed by the Latin inscription, Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD, meaning, Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith, reaffirming her role as both monarch and spiritual leader of the nation. In 1996, the Royal Mint continued its tradition of impeccable craftsmanship, producing these coins primarily in copper-plated steel. This was a significant shift from the original bronze alloy used in earlier decades, introduced as a cost-effective measure in 1992. The use of copper-plated steel gave the coins a slightly different hue and weight, making them more durable and economical for mass production. Millions of these coins rolled out of the mint's presses that year, destined for circulation throughout the United Kingdom. To the untrained eye, all 1996 2-pence coins looked identical, but as every seasoned collector knows, the magic often lies in the details. And indeed, it is those details that have made certain 1996 2-pence coins legendary. Over the years, collectors began noticing variations and rare minting errors that set a few of these coins apart from the rest. Some of these rarities involved misaligned strikes, off-center impressions, or slight differences in the thickness of the copper plating. These quirks were not intentional but the result of minute inconsistencies during the minting process. For most coins, such anomalies are discarded during quality checks, but occasionally, a few slip through, making their way into circulation. These rare survivors become instant treasures for numismatists, as their imperfections tell a story of their own. One of the most fascinating tales surrounding the 1996 2-pence coin revolves around the so-called new pence and 2 pence inscriptions. Although the standard wording had changed from new pence to 2 pence back in 1982, rumors circulated that a few coins struck in the 1990s, including some in 1996, mistakenly bore the older inscription due to the accidental use of outdated dies. Such a mistake, if authentic, would dramatically increase the coin's value, as collectors prize these anomalies for their rarity and historical significance. While confirmed examples are exceedingly scarce, even the mere possibility of such variants has driven interest in this particular year's mintage. Collectors are drawn to coins like the 1996 2-pence not only for their aesthetic and historical appeal but also for the thrill of the hunt. The idea that a tiny, overlooked coin in someone's pocket change could be worth a small fortune is irresistible. This allure has sparked a wave of excitement among hobbyists, treasure hunters, and even casual coin enthusiasts. Over the decades, auctions and private sales have seen select specimens of the 1996 2-pence fetch extraordinary sums, especially those with proven errors or pristine, uncirculated condition. The numismatic market thrives on such stories, where rarity meets demand and transforms ordinary coins into priceless artifacts. The story of this coin is also deeply intertwined with the legacy of Queen Elizabeth II herself. By 1996, Her Majesty had been on the throne for over 4 decades, guiding her nation through eras of change, modernity, and tradition. Her portrait on the coin is not just a depiction of a monarch but a testament to her enduring presence in the lives of the British people. For many, collecting coins from different years of her reign is a way of chronicling history, each portrait update reflecting her life's journey, each coin a small piece of her vast and influential story. As time has passed, the 1996 2-pence coin has gained more attention, not only as currency but as a collectible piece of art and history. Its coppery sheen, the intricate portcullis design, and the elegant profile of the Queen combine to create something that is both simple and remarkable. Coins like these remind us that beauty and value often hide in plain sight, waiting for a curious eye to discover them. Suddenly, that tiny disc of metal is no longer just pocket change, it's a rare artifact worth more than most could ever imagine. Such stories have fueled the dreams of countless collectors who scour their change, flea markets, and estate sales in search of hidden treasures. The market value of these coins has seen dramatic growth, driven by both genuine rarity and the feverish excitement of collectors eager to own a piece of British numismatic history. Auction houses have reported staggering figures for particularly rare specimens of the 1996 2-pence coin, with buyers willing to pay incredible sums for the chance to add one to their collection. These coins have become symbols of the unexpected riches that can lie within ordinary objects and have proven that numismatic passion knows no bounds. Today, the 1996 Elizabeth II 2-pence coin is celebrated not only for its design and royal connection but also for its role as a symbol of hidden value. It represents the thrilling possibility that something so common can turn out to be astonishingly rare and precious. This story has inspired both seasoned collectors and new enthusiasts to look closer at the coins they come across, to appreciate the artistry and history behind each piece of currency. It's a reminder that treasures often come in the most unassuming forms. And now, for the moment you've all been waiting for, the extraordinary value that makes this coin headline-worthy. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the world of the 1996 2-pence coin. If you enjoyed discovering the fascinating story behind this seemingly ordinary yet extraordinary piece of currency, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Ultra Rare Coins History. Stay tuned for more incredible tales of rare coins from around the world. Who knows? The next coin we feature might be sitting unnoticed in your very own collection, waiting to reveal its hidden worth.